In the world of business, few stories are as controversial and as inspiring as the rise of McDonald's. A global empire serving over 70 million customers each day. It all began in a small kitchen in California. But this isn't a story about the two brothers who started that kitchen. This is the story of a milkshake machine salesman named Ray Kroc, who didn't invent the idea, but turned it into a revolution. Welcome to Glorica 26. This is not just the story of burgers and fries. It's the story of obsession, ambition, strategy, and power. It's about the man who wasn't there at the start, but made sure he was there at the top. This is the story of Ray Kroc and how he built McDonald's into the world's most recognizable fast food brand. It began in 1940 when two brothers, Richard and Maurice McDonald, opened a drive-in restaurant called McDonald's Barbecue in San Bernardino, California. At first, it was just another roadside diner. 20 items on the menu, car hops delivering orders, slow service, and inconsistent quality. After a few frustrating years, the brothers decided to tear it all down and rebuild. What emerged was a streamlined, revolutionary operation. They introduced the speedy service system, a method that applied the principles of a factory assembly line to a kitchen. They cut the menu to just a few items: burgers, fries, and milkshakes, and optimized every step of food preparation for speed, efficiency, and consistency. Orders were ready in seconds. The kitchen ran like a machine. And most importantly, every customer got the same burger, every time. To the McDonald brothers, it was a clever way to make their restaurant more profitable and efficient. But to Ray Kroc, it was a blueprint for something much bigger. In 1954, Kroc, then 52 years old and selling multi-mixers, a machine that could make 5 milkshakes at once, noticed an unusually large order. One small restaurant had just purchased 8 of them. Curious, he drove to San Bernardino and saw something that changed his life. He watched with amazement as the McDonald's operation flowed like clockwork. The customers kept coming. The food kept moving. The system was unlike anything he'd ever seen. Kroc instantly saw what the McDonald brothers couldn't. He saw scale. He saw consistency. He saw something that could dominate the American dining landscape. He proposed a franchise model, one that would allow the McDonald's system to be copied and replicated in city after city, state after state. The brothers, cautious after previous failed attempts, hesitated. But eventually they agreed. Kroc would lead the expansion. In 1955, he opened his first McDonald's franchise in Des Plaines, Illinois, and established the McDonald's Corporation to control and oversee the operations. The deal seemed promising, but cracks began to show. Ray Kroc was a man of relentless energy. He wasn't just selling burgers. He was selling a vision. He wanted hundreds, even thousands of outlets. But the McDonald brothers were more conservative. They prioritized quality control and feared growing too fast. The ideological clash between cautious innovation and aggressive expansion soon became a battle. Kroc believed that every McDonald's should look, feel, and taste the same. He introduced rigorous operational standards, training programs, and quality checks. He established Hamburger University to train managers in the McDonald's philosophy of service, speed, and sanitation. But control was still limited. The McDonald brothers owned the name. They held the power. And Ray Kroc hated that. Over the next few years, tensions escalated. Kroc was building an empire, but it wasn't fully his. In 1961, he made them an offer: $2.7 million for full rights to the business. It was a fortune at the time. The brothers accepted, on one condition. They would receive a 1% royalty on future sales. But that part of the deal was never written down. It was a handshake agreement, and one Kroc never honored. The McDonald brothers walked away with their millions, but lost control of everything. Their original restaurant was renamed the Big M, since they could no longer use the McDonald's name. Out of spite or strategy, Kroc opened a McDonald's right across the street, driving them out of business completely. He didn't just win. He erased their legacy. Under Kroc's full control, McDonald's became unstoppable. He didn't just sell fast food, he sold consistency. From Des Moines to Denver, a Big Mac was a Big Mac. He prioritized standardization, automation, and aggressive growth. But Ray Kroc's genius wasn't only in burgers. It was in land. He realized that the real power wasn't in the restaurant. It was in the property it sat on. Kroc formed a separate company that bought the land for every new McDonald's location and leased it to franchisees. This model gave McDonald's both profit and leverage. If a franchisee failed to meet standards, Kroc could evict them. He owned the land. It was a financial masterstroke. McDonald's became not just a fast food company, but one of the largest real estate holders in the world. By the 1970s, McDonald's was opening more than 300 new stores per year. The Golden Arches became global. McDonald's entered Europe, Asia, and South America. It wasn't just an American brand anymore. It was a global icon. Ray Kroc became a business legend. He published an autobiography titled Grinding It Out, describing his journey from milkshake salesman to fast food king. He appeared on talk shows, gave interviews, and became a symbol of the American dream. Late success through hard work, hustle, and vision. In a world where people often believe success belongs only to the young, Kroc defied expectations. He built an empire after age 50. His story inspired millions who felt they had missed their chance. He proved that timing is important, but tenacity is everything. But the story has another side. Critics point out that Ray Kroc did not invent the system he profited from. He didn't build the first McDonald's. He didn't create the speedy service system. He took someone else's idea, scaled it, and buried the original creators. Many say he was more opportunist than innovator, more businessman than visionary. But history remembers winners, and Ray Kroc made sure he was the one writing the final chapter. Even his own accounts often portrayed him as a relentless operator who would stop at nothing to get what he wanted. In interviews, he referred to business as war. In war, there are no rules, only victors. He died in 1984. At the time, McDonald's had over 8,000 locations worldwide. Today, that number is over 40,000. The company serves nearly 1% of the world's population every single day. Ray Kroc's impact went far beyond burgers. He redefined franchising. He influenced global eating habits. He turned fast food into a corporate science. And he showed the world that the person with the biggest idea doesn't always win. It's the one with the biggest drive. He transformed how we think about scalability, logistics, brand identity, and consumer behavior. In a world flooded with ideas, it was execution that made the difference. Ray Kroc's story is both a triumph and a warning. He was not the founder, but became the face. He didn't invent the system, but perfected it. And in the end, he proved something that resonates in business to this day. It doesn't matter who starts the race, it matters who finishes it. The story of McDonald's reminds us that behind every iconic brand lies a complex and sometimes uncomfortable truth. Greatness is not always pure, but it is powerful.